Snark Squad.
We are so back.
Babes, it is Sunday evening.
Yes, it is.
The peach mimosas. On deck. And babes, we are in for a good fucking night.
Yes. We are absolutely drinking peach mimosas in honor of our Southern belles. As we should.
Friend, we have been waiting for this premiere. Like, counting down the days. The Bravo gods. Blessed us again, St. Andy. We're sending messy, chaotic, dramatic vibes your way.
Truly, the drought is over. We survived the off-season.
We did. But babe, before we even get into the mansion, before we talk about iPads at the dinner table, we were watching Phaedra, and one thought would not leave my brain. Dream funerals.
Oh my gosh, wait, yes.
Babes, it is a thing now. People are prepaying, planning everything.
Down to the absolute last detail.
Exactly. And with Phaedra on our screens, funeral director, lawyer, businesswoman, reality TV icon, we literally need to discuss this.
We have to, because it is a massive cultural shift right now. People are treating their passing like it is a Met Gala theme.
Which it should be.
Okay, but we have a debate here. Is prepaying for your own demise incredibly smart estate planning? Or, hear me out, is it just a deeply morbid, long-term scam designed by the death care industry to capitalize on our anxiety?
I am emotionally, fully, unequivocally into the idea. Like, it is not a scam if you are getting the exact artistic vision you paid for.
Artistic vision for a burial.
Yes. Listen to me, babe. A dream funeral is the ultimate, absolute final serve. It is your very last chance on this earth to have the spotlight.
I mean, literally your last chance.
Right. You get to control your own narrative and make everyone who ever wronged you sit in uncomfortable folding chairs while a choir sings your praises. Why on earth would I leave that level of event production to someone else?
Because you won't be there to micromanage the caterers.
But a graw you is done right. If I pass, heaven forbid, I do not want a grieving relative in a state of shock picking out some tragic, generic mahogany box and playing, like, a Spotify harp playlist. No. I want a production. I want a budget.
See, I look at the mechanics of this, and my brain immediately sees a timeshare for a coffin.
A timeshare. Stop it.
No, let us break down the reality of what you are actually doing when you sign these pre-need contracts. You are handing over thousands of dollars today to a massive corporate conglomerate.
But I am locking in my price.
Are you? Because you are hoping that in 40 or 50 years, inflation has not completely decimated the value of that package.
Yeah.
You are essentially locking in today's aesthetic for an event that might not happen until, like, 2075.
Classic aesthetics never die, friend.
But what if the whole crying in a parlor with lilies thing is entirely obsolete by then? What if we are shooting ashes into orbit on a SpaceX rocket, or dissolving remains in a futuristic ecopod?
I do not want an ecopod. I want drama.
It just feels like an incredibly well-marketed, emotionally manipulative ploy. It plays on our desperate human need to control the uncontrollable. Death is the one thing we cannot manage, so we try to micromanage the hors d'oeuvre at the repast.
You are stripping all the romance out of the petty drama of it all. Just think about the vision, the aesthetic power. If I am pre-planning, I am dictating the vibe.
Okay, indulge me. What is the specific vibe of your dream funeral?
It is overly dramatic. It is intensely glamorous. We are talking very dim, moody lighting.
Like a nightclub.
Exactly. Like a super exclusive lounge, an absolute abundance of white orchids just cascading everywhere, and a dress code that is strictly enforced at the door.
Wait, enforced by who?
Security, babe. Black tie only. I want people stressed about what they are wearing to my viewing. I want them buying new outfits.
You are unhinged.
And the music. I want a live 12-piece string quartet playing slow, acoustic, haunting versions of early 2000s R&B.
Oh my God.
Imagine Say My Name by Destiny's Child, but played on a cello while people weep.
I am actually laughing so hard I might spill this mimosa.
And most importantly, bestie, a strict VIP guest list.
Wait, pause, hold on. You are going to have a velvet rope at your own funeral.
I am having a velvet rope, a clipboard, and a bouncer. Big, muscular security guys in dark suits with earpieces actively turning people away.
You cannot bounce people from a memorial service.
I absolutely can. Imagine the security guard saying, "Sorry you didn't check on her enough in 2024 when she had that bad head cold. You are not on the list."
Step to the back of the line.
That is, I have no words.
It is petty. It is unhinged. And I have to tell you, it gives me so much profound peace right now just visualizing it. It is about curating the energy of the room, even when you aren't in the room anymore.
The psychology behind what you are describing is actually fascinating because you are literally orchestrating post-mortem FOMO.
Yes.
Fear of missing out, but from beyond the grave. You want people to be devastated, not just that you are gone, but that they couldn't get past the bouncer to see the floral arrangements.
Exactly. It is a VIP experience.
It is peak distilled reality TV behavior. It is curating optics over actual substance, which makes perfect sense why someone like Phaedra Parks would capitalize on it. She understands that people do not just want to be mourned, they want to be celebrated as icons.
She gets it. She's a visionary. But from a purely analytical financial standpoint, put that money in a high-yield savings account. Let the compound interest work for decades, and leave a highly specific, legally binding, password-protected Pinterest board in your will.
A Pinterest board is not legally binding.
You get the aesthetic without giving a corporation a 50-year interest-free loan?
Well, we will just have to agree to disagree. Because I am putting a deposit down on a crying choir tomorrow. I want professional mourners wailing in the back row to set the tone.
Please do not text me when the check clears.
I will text you from the grave.
Ugh.
But speaking of orchestrating optics and things we are indulging in right now, for anyone watching the video version, yes, we are eating the viral peach ice cream.
We had to do it.
Hey, babes, we have thoughts. We have strong thoughts.
It has been inescapable. Every influencer, every food critic, every random person on the timeline is acting like this specific pint of peach ice cream is a paradigm shift in the culinary world.
Because it is.
It is the perfect example of manufactured viral scarcity. But let us actually evaluate the product stripped of the marketing hype. I'm going to go first because I need to bring us back to reality.
Oh, here we go.
The texture. It is highly problematic.
No, it is not.
It is giving icy. It is giving left in the back of the freezer, slightly thawed on the delivery truck, and then aggressively refrozen.
You get a bad batch, babe.
When I want ice cream, I am looking for a rich, creamy, decadent mouthfeel, a high butterfat content. This feels like a glorified, confused sorbet trying to masquerade as dairy.
A confused sorbet.
It lacks the structural integrity of a premium ice cream. It is an overrated, overhyped casualty of TikTok marketing where visual aesthetic completely supersedes the actual gastronomic experience. It is just cute packaging.
I am literally clutching my pearls at this review. You are entirely fundamentally wrong on every single level.
Defend it then.
The taste. It tastes like a late August afternoon sitting on a wraparound porch in Savannah. It is sweet, it is incredibly bright, and it has these little artisan chunks of actual real peach that burst with flavor.
They're artisan chunks. They are frozen solid ice blocks.
It isn't trying to be some heavy, suffocating, dense vanilla bean that puts you to sleep. It is a refreshing, iconic summer moment captured in a pint.
It is frozen water and sugar.
I am issuing a definitive ruling right now for the Snark squad at home. This ice cream is a star. And my bestie here just doesn't understand the light, breezy vision of what a fruit-based dessert should be. It is iconic.
It is a solid C+, and it relies entirely on the placebo effect of social media hype. But we will move on before you start defending this ice cream like it is a member of your immediate family.
I will adopt it. I will leave it my estate and my dream funeral.
Oh my God. But the through line here is actually fascinating. Orchestrating optics. Trying to control how things look to the outside world, whether it is a funeral, a viral dessert, or your own personal life.
Which brings us perfectly to the absolute failure of optics in our listener submissions.
Yes, it is time for shady, snarky, or stupid.
Babes, we have been completely bombarded.
Inundated.
The DMs are a war zone of bad decisions and messy drama right now. So we combed through hundreds of them, and we picked 2 specific cases to judge tonight.
Let me pull up the first one.
Oh, I'm so ready for this. Gimme the mess.
Okay, here we go. Submission 1. Babes, I need a ruling. I hosted a premiere watch party last week. My core friend group, everyone is drinking, having a great time. The vibes are immaculate.
Love a watch party.
I go into my kitchen to get more ice from the fridge, and I find my friend, let's call her Sarah, making out by the refrigerator with my ex-boyfriend.
Wait, what?
It continues. The kicker. He wasn't even invited to the party. She told me she was bringing a new guy she was seeing as her +1, and she literally smuggled my ex into my apartment while I was in the bathroom. Shady, snarky, or stupid.
My jaw is completely unhinged.
Yeah.
I am having a visceral, full-body, fight-or-flight emotional reaction to this right now.
It is aggressive.
In your own home, while you are just innocently trying to replenish the ice bucket for your guests.
The ice bucket always leads to disaster.
The absolute breathtaking betrayal of this. The audacity to bring him as a +1, fully knowing it is your ex-boyfriend, and masking his identity until she could sneak him past the threshold.
Like a Trojan horse.
That is not just shady. That is diabolical. That is the origin story of a reality TV supervillain. If I walked into my own kitchen and saw that, I would have thrown the ice bucket at the wall.
You would have ruined the drywall.
I would have set the refrigerator on fire. I would have locked the doors and called the authorities. The violation of your safe space is what really gets me here.
Let us strip away the emotion for a second, though, and look at the sheer risk assessment failure of this maneuver.
It is insane.
The coordination required to execute this is astounding. Sarah had to coordinate his arrival specifically during a bathroom break. She had to ensure he stayed out of your direct line of sight in a crowded apartment until the exact moment they could rendezvous in the kitchen.
She is a tactical genius, honestly.
The psychological component here is wild. The sheer adrenaline rush she must have been seeking by doing this in your house rather than literally anywhere else in the city. It is pathological. It is the thrill of the illicit.
But she got caught.
Exactly. Because execution-wise, it is deeply structurally flawed. You chose the kitchen. The kitchen is the highest traffic area at any gathering. It is the nexus of the party.
Everyone goes to the kitchen.
Right. So the risk of getting caught wasn't just high. Mathematically, it was an absolute certainty.
So what are we calling this, babe? Because I'm calling it grounds for a restraining order.
It is undeniably shady at its core, but the execution makes it overwhelmingly stupid. You do not smuggle an ex into a watch party and hide in the most heavily populated room. The risk-to-reward ratio is non-existent. Verdict, stupidly shady.
I completely agree. And my personal advice, you need to completely purge your friend group immediately. Block Sarah, block the ex, sage the kitchen.
Venmo request her for the ice.
Yes. Oh my God, invoice her. Okay, read the second submission. I need to know if it gets messier.
Oh, it gets so much worse. Submission 2. Snark Squad, please help me. I am a bridesmaid in a wedding. The bride has been an absolute nightmare for 6 months, a total textbook bridezilla.
We have all been there.
I was venting about her to my other friend, typing out this huge, long, multi-paragraph text message about how the bridesmaid dresses are hideous, the bachelorette trip is a financial scam being run by her sister, and her fiancé is a walking red flag who flirts with the waitstaff.
Oh, no.
I know where this is going.
I hit send. I look up. I didn't send it to my friend. I sent it to the massive bridal party group chat. The bride is the admin of the chat. It has been 24 hours and no one has responded.
Oh, no.
Chaos.
I am spiraling. I have secondhand anxiety just listening to those words. My chest is physically tight right now.
24 hours of silence.
A multi-paragraph, itemized read on the fiancé, a critique of the finances, and the main group chat. Babe, you have to fake your own death.
Start looking at those funeral packages. This ties perfectly back to our opening. You need to call Phaedra Parks right now, arrange a closed casket memorial, and disappear into the night. Move to a new continent. Change your fingerprints.
Witness protection?
There is absolutely no coming back from this. And the fact that it has been a full day of total radio silence, that silence is deafening. It is violent.
What do you think they're doing?
They are all on a separate, newly created text thread without you deciding your fate like a tribunal. You're done.
You see, I am judging the sheer, unadulterated failure of digital literacy here.
How do you miss the group chat name?
Exactly. We live in an era where every single one of us has 4 or 5 different group chats with slight variations of the exact same people. You are typing a manifesto, a literal peer-reviewed thesis of complaints that could end friendships, and you do not double-check the recipient at the top of the screen.
You have to check the little circle icons.
The mechanics of gossiping in the modern age require precision. They require operational security. You failed basic OPSEC. This is exactly what we see on reality TV constantly. People believing they are operating in the shadows, only to realize the microphone is hot.
The mic was so hot. What is the official verdict on this disaster?
This isn't shady because it was a complete accident. It isn't snarky because you got caught and now you are terrified. This is just 100% pure, unfiltered stupid. Verdict stupid.
So stupid. Rest in peace to your bridesmaid status, babe.
Yeah?
You are officially disinvited from the rehearsal dinner. You won't even get a +1 to the reception.
She won't be let in the building.
Okay, I need a massive sip of this mimosa because my heart rate is completely elevated from that.
Right up.
But this theme of orchestrating a narrative and having it blow up in your face, it brings us perfectly into tonight's main event. We are breaking down The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17, Episode 1, A Warm Welcome.
Let me tell you, there was absolutely nothing warm about it. The temperature in that room was sub-zero. Let us set the geographical and emotional scene for this premiere, because we are opening with a massive, necessary reset. Season 16 is behind us, thankfully, and Porsha Williams is returning to reclaim her throne.
The queen has returned.
And how does she announce her return to the chessboard? by hosting a Mystic Island-themed couples party, which, by the way, she accidentally kept calling Majestic Island. She completely forgot her own theme.
You said majestic like 4 times.
But she is hosting this in the very mansion she just won in her highly publicized divorce from Simon.
I absolutely fundamentally live for the flex of this.
You love it.
It is a power move of epic historical proportions. You fight tooth and nail in a bitter, messy, tabloid-ridden divorce for this massive, sprawling, opulent estate. And the very first thing you do when the ink on the settlement is dry, you invite an entire Bravo camera crew and your mortal frenemies over to drink tropical cocktails in the living room.
It is bold.
She is claiming her victory. She is planting her flag in the marble floors. It is the ultimate reality TV comeback aesthetic. It says, I won, you lost, and I have the square footage to prove it.
Okay, I hear you on the power dynamics. It is a flex. But let us question the energetic reality of this real estate choice. Let us really analyze the vibe of that house.
The vibe was rich.
The vibe was heavy. You just fought a highly publicized, incredibly toxic legal battle with your ex-husband over this exact plot of land. The divorce is barely finalized. The emotional wounds are still fresh. And you are hosting a romantic couples dinner on the very floors he used to walk on.
Yeah, that is a little dark.
Without changing the furniture, without bringing in a shaman for a massive sage cleanse. From a purely energetic standpoint, bringing a new man and a group of highly volatile women into Simon's ex-house just feels incredibly heavy. It feels haunted.
But the shade of it all, the sheer nerve to serve hors d'oeuvre on the dining table he bought, it is so good. It is classic housewives behavior. Remember when Teresa Giudice built her entire identity around her McMansion? Or LVP holding court in Villa Rosa? The house is a cast member.
It is a cast member, but right now it is a creepy one. And we have to talk about the editing brilliance of the production team here, because a very astute Bravo fan clocked this perfectly online during the live watch.
Oh, what did they say?
The way the editors framed the wide shots of that massive quiet house, it literally felt like Simon's ghost was metaphorically lurking in the background. The cavernous ceilings, the echoing hallways. Someone joked that he was probably sitting somewhere in a dark room on his laptop, watching the entire party unfold on the house's Wi-Fi security cameras.
Oh my God, not the Wi-Fi cameras. I would be absolutely terrified.
Right, Ring cameras everywhere.
Every time someone dropped a fork or whispered a secret, Simon is just zooming in on the 4K footage from a remote location. That is terrifying. But honestly, despite the haunted energy, Porsha looked incredible. She provided the perfect, opulent venue for chaos to bloom.
She did look stunning.
But a venue is nothing without the guests. And we have to talk about the newbies, because we have fresh blood this season. The ecosystem is shifting. K. Michelle has officially entered the chat.
Transitioning from the Love and Hip Hop franchise to the Bravo universe is not a seamless jump. We have seen people try it and fail miserably.
It's a totally different game.
It is a completely different pacing, a different style of producing, and a different type of ensemble cast. Love and Hip Hop relies on explosive, immediate, physical conflict. Bravo relies on slow burn psychological warfare. But K. Michelle is coming in with a brand new era. She is pivoting to country music, which is a massive zeitgeist capturing storyline right now.
And she casually mentioned getting flowers from Beyonce.
Just drop that in casually.
Can we just pause, take a breath, and respect the magnitude of that?
Yeah.
A literal cosign from Beyonce on her country music era. I love seeing her pop her ish. She has been through so much publicly, the surgeries, the relationships, the industry battles, and she is married now.
Dr. Castan.
Yes. Who she literally dragged to the altar after they met on Queen's Court. She casually dropped that it was a fiasco getting married a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I love her authenticity. She does not know how to fake it. She doesn't have the Bravo filter installed yet.
What is truly fascinating about K. Michelle in this specific premiere is her complete and utter refusal to adhere to the traditional housewives formula. She is breaking the fourth wall constantly.
Looking right down the barrel of the lens.
Like she is on an episode of The Office. Her discomfort with the manufactured setups is palpable. But it is hilarious because she is vocalizing exactly what the audience at home is thinking. Audiences in 2026 are way too media savvy for fake reality TV setups. We know the producers told them to sit there. K. Michelle pointed out the absurdity is exactly what the franchise needs right now.
When she walked into Porsha's giant empty mansion, looked around, and dropped that quote.
Iconic.
She said, I thought I was coming to an American dinner in an African house. Where's the furniture? It's giving City Hall.
Giving City Hall.
I screamed. I literally had to pause the TV because I was laughing so hard. because the house was echoing. It sounded like they were in a high school gymnasium. You could hear a pin drop in that massive foyer.
It was a devastatingly astute observation of the physical space. The acoustics in that room were terrible, and it highlighted the emptiness of Porsha's post-divorce aesthetic. The house is big, but it lacks warmth. But let us look at our other newbie, Pinky Cole, who had a vastly different entry into the group.
The legendary founder of Slutty Vegan. She arrives with her husband, and babe, the awkwardness was immediate.
It was thick.
It was palpable. I felt so incredibly bad for her, but it was just a cascading mess from the exact second she crossed the threshold.
It was the textbook definition of a fish-out-of-water debut. First of all, she immediately spills a bright, sticky drink all over Simon's immaculate floor.
On the hardwood.
The tension in the room spiked instantly. You do not walk into the Queen Bee's freshly won divorce mansion and immediately require a mop and a bucket on aisle 4. It shatters the illusion of glamour right out of the gate.
And the Snark squad was tearing her outfit apart online during the live watch.
They were brutal.
They dubbed it way too regular and normie for a Housewives premiere. Everyone else is in these dramatic, custom, cutout gowns with massive, glittering glam. And she just looked like she was going to a nice casual dinner at a mid-tiered chain restaurant. It didn't give reality TV entrance. It gave PTA meeting.
It is the classic rookie mistake of underestimating the visual requirements of the job. Being on Bravo requires a uniform of excess. You cannot just wear a nice blazer. But the real issue wasn't the spilled drink or the casual outfit. It was the immediate predatory branding by Kelly.
Oh, Kelly wasted no time.
Kelly took one look at her, assessed the weakness, and instantly branded her not a girl's girl.
Because Pinky left her on red. Over a direct message. I gasp every single time Kelly opens her mouth because she goes straight for the jugular without any hesitation.
It is so petty.
The backstory is hilarious. They were on a business panel together. Kelly slid into the DMs to network. Pinky ignored it because she's running a massive food empire. And now Kelly has marked her as public enemy #1. It is so deeply petty, and I love every single second of it.
It establishes an immediate, low-stakes, highly watchable rivalry between two prominent Atlanta restaurant owners, Nana's Chicken and Waffles versus Slutty Vegan.
The battle of the food chains.
It is perfectly produced conflict because it blends personal slight with professional competition. But let us shift away from the newbies for a second and look at the absolute mind-bending absurdity of the plus ones at this couple's party.
The rent-a-dates. The fake romances. The illusion of love. I cannot handle the cringe. I had to watch portions of this through my fingers. Let us start with Porsha's friend, Mike.
Friend, we need to dive deep into the absurdity of this man's presence. Porsha brings a guy that she met from the OWN network dating show Ready to Love.
A reality show crossover.
That single fact alone tells you everything you need to know about the authenticity of this connection. This is a cross-promotional casting choice, not a romantic partnership.
He stood up at the end of the giant table and gave a formal speech.
I wanted to melt into the floor.
He clinked his glass with a utensil and thanked everyone for coming to the party, acting like his name was on the deed to the house. Sir, you do not pay the property taxes. You do not pay the mortgage. You are a guest who arrived in an Uber.
He was so comfortable.
My jaw dropped when he confidently took over the hosting duties. It was so weird, so cringy, and so over the top. And then the fake wedding ceremony at the altar in the house, they literally stood up and pantomimed a wedding. I had to look away from the screen.
It was Tyler Perry stage play realness. Porsha absolutely does not need another marriage, fake or real right now, especially one filmed in her ex's living room. It felt deeply desperate. It was a forced, panicked attempt to prove to the audience and to herself that she is moving on quickly and successfully.
Just skip the fake wedding.
But incredibly, Mike acting like the Lord of the Manor was practically normal compared to what Drew Sidora brought to the table.
Drew and the man in the phone. I am going to need an entire hour, maybe a dedicated therapist, just to process the mechanics of this.
It was a logistical nightmare.
Drew had a 3-hour Zoom date with a man named Black, propped up on an iPad at a formal dinner party.
Let us analyze the sheer endurance and logistics of this situation. The man brought a portable ring light to a FaceTime call.
He was glowing.
He sat there, perfectly illuminated, staring directly into a camera lens, smiling and nodding for 3 consecutive hours. He did not take a bathroom break.
How was that medically possible?
He did not break eye contact. He did not check his phone. The psychological stamina required to be a silent, glowing iPad prop at a chaotic Bravo dinner party is staggering. He is either deeply in love or deeply desperate for screen time.
Phaedra's confessional about him took me completely out of my body. She asked, completely deadpan, if Black was embalmed. Or if he had a colostomy bag hidden under his desk because he never moved his lower half. I was crying laughing. Is he embalmed? Only Phaedra Parks could deliver a read that devastating, tying it back to her mortuary roots with a completely straight face.
And we cannot forget Cynthia Bailey, who essentially did the exact same thing, but somehow made it even more surreal and ridiculous. She propped up her phone to represent her date, Puma, but she actually attached a physical dreadlock wig to the phone case to simulate his hairstyle.
A dreadlock phone. A synthetic wig glued to an iPhone case. Why are we doing this as grown women? Which leads me to my biggest question for you, friend. I need your analytical brain on this right now.
Lay it on me.
Why do these women absolutely refuse to just show up to an event single? What is the deep-seated psychology behind needing a literal piece of hardware as a prop date? Why couldn't Drew just walk in looking gorgeous, say, I'm single, I'm fabulous, pass the champagne?
It is an ego defense mechanism, and it is deeply rooted in the specific competitive culture of reality television. To show up single to a couples event, in their minds, signals defeat.
Defeat.
Yes, it signals a lack of desirability, especially when you're coming off a highly public, humiliating divorce or breakup, which both Drew and Porsha are. A prop date, even if it is literally an iPad on a metal stand, provides a psychological shield.
Yet it is a barrier.
It communicates to the other women, look, I am chosen. I am desired by a man. I have an active storyline that does not just revolve around my trauma. They would rather look objectively ridiculous holding a ring light FaceTime call than appear vulnerable, alone, and unprotected in a room full of predators. It is a fascinating, deeply flawed prioritization of optics over reality.
It is exhausting. The mental gymnastics required to maintain that illusion. Just be single. Own it. But speaking of exhausting dynamics, the tension in that dining room between the women was thick enough to cut with a steak knife. We have to talk about the ex-besties, Porsha and Shamea.
Decades. Decades of deep, genuine friendship, blown to absolute pieces on camera during the last season. And now, the board has reset.
It is a whole new dynamic.
Shamea has fully replaced Porsha with Kelly, the self-proclaimed queen of waffles. They are parading this new, hyper-codependent friendship everywhere, making sure Porsha sees it. And Shamea is building a rum company with a massive six-figure investment from her husband, Gerald.
Shamea's husband, who conveniently got rerouted on a flight in Charlotte and couldn't make the party.
Poor Sam.
We all know the truth. He looked at the guest list, looked at the cameras, and decided he did not want to be anywhere near that mess. He stayed in the Delta Sky Club and drank in peace. But we have to talk about Shamea's bizarre YouTube apology video. She posted this incredibly melancholy, overly produced, softly lit apology to everyone on the internet after the reunion.
Let us look at the actual text of that apology. Was it a genuine expression of remorse for her actions, or was it a masterclass in passive-aggressive PR?
It was PR.
Because when you analyze the rhetoric she used, it was entirely self-serving. It was a preemptive strike designed to secure her peach for season 17, while subtly reminding everyone, especially Porsha, that she has more secrets in the vault and could have been much meaner if she wanted to. It was a threat disguised as a mea culpa.
Exactly. And Drew, of all people, called her out on it perfectly at the table. But before we get to the actual verbal fight, we have to talk about the physical encounter at the party between Porsha and Shamea.
The hug.
They play the game. They play nice. Porsha hugs her, uses her soft voice, and says she wants to move forward in peace. But then, in the confessional, Shamea reveals the nasty text messages they exchanged immediately after the reunion. And babe, she didn't just read the texts. She mimed them.
The miming. I need to understand the directorial choice happening in the production booth here. She is sitting in her confessional chair wearing a choppy mullet.
The mullet.
Which is a profound aesthetic choice in itself. And instead of just pulling out her phone and quoting the vicious text messages like a normal housewife, she starts violently throwing bows. She is doing a silent, aggressive, interpretive dance of the word F you. It was pure, unadulterated theater kid energy.
It was the highest possible level of camp comedy. I was dying on my couch. The mullet hair, the shadow boxing the air, the sheer, unblinking commitment to the mime routine. Shamea is an entertainer first and foremost. I will give her that.
She gave us a performance.
But Drew is definitely not entertained by her antics. Drew struck first at that dinner table, and she struck hard.
Drew understands her assignment this year. She clocked in for her shift. She calls out Shamea's apology video for being shady and basically says to her face, "You think you went light on me. Go heavier. Try it."
Try me.
And Shamea, instead of defending the merit of the video, panics and violently deflects.
She fully panics. She throws Drew completely under the bus without a single second of hesitation. She looks around the table and yells that Drew was secretly questioning Angela's receipts behind her back.
"You didn't even believe your friend Angela. The gasp that left my body. The betrayal."
It is a classic, desperate deflection tactic. When cornered on your own bad behavior, immediately introduce a more volatile piece of gossip to change the target on the room's radar.
It is textbook housewives deflecting.
And it worked beautifully because it instantly ignited the real beef of the episode, the main event, Phaedra versus Angela.
The Hawks game lie. Okay, let us break this down. So Angela claims she was aggressively accosted by Phaedra's friend at an Atlanta Hawks basketball game.
Courtside drama.
Phaedra goes full Southern lawyer mode. She narrows her eyes, drops her voice into that condescending, slow, deliberate drawl, and claims she personally pulled the security tapes from the sports arena and can definitively prove Angela is lying. She looks dead serious right into Angela's eyes. She says, "I have the tapes." And this is where the Bravo editing team deserves an Emmy for comedic timing. Because immediately they cut straight to the confessional. Phaedra is asked by an unseen producer, "Do you actually have the tapes?" And the facade crumbles.
Instantly.
She stutters, looks away from the lens, and sheepishly admits, "Well, I didn't look at the tapes. I asked for them to be reviewed. She never saw them." She completely fabricated the existence of concrete, physical evidence to intimidate Angela and shut down the argument at the table.
And this sparks a massive tangent for me, because we really have to talk about Phaedra's legacy on this network. This isn't just a cute little white lie about a basketball game spat.
No, it is a pattern.
Do we forgive Phaedra for her past lies? Specifically, the Kandi Burruss and Porsha Williams dungeon debacle from season 9. For anyone who needs a refresher, Phaedra told Porsha that Kandi and her husband wanted to drug Porsha and take her to their sex dungeon.
It was incredibly dark.
It was a massive, show-altering scandal. Is Phaedra just this fun, confessional gangster who gives us great sound bites and dramatic moments? Or is this behavioral pattern actually toxic? Because, friend, I have to admit my own hypocrisy here.
What is your hypocrisy?
I defend her entertainment value. She makes me laugh out loud. The colostomy bag red, iconic. The funeral planning, hilarious. She knows exactly how to make compelling TV.
I hear you, but I have to call out the very real danger of this history. Yes, she is highly quotable. Yes, she understands the mechanics of reality television better than almost anyone else in the history of the franchise. But her methodology relies on dangerous, character-assassinating lies.
It does get dark.
The Kandi and Porsha rumor wasn't just shade. It wasn't just a petty comment about an outfit. It was an allegation of a federal crime that could have destroyed actual lives, families, and lucrative business empires.
Kandi almost lost everything over that.
And to see her instantly revert back to that exact same tactic fabricating evidence, lying about security footage to discredit another woman's experience, it shows that the core mechanism hasn't changed at all. She uses the perceived authority of her legal background to gaslight people on camera.
Yeah.
It is incredibly compelling television, but from a moral standpoint, it is fundamentally malicious.
Oh, you are reading her to absolute filth right now. But you are not wrong. It is just, she wears that pristine blonde wig, drops a perfectly rehearsed read, flashes that smile, and people just forget the damage she caused.
They get distracted by the glamour.
But Angela did not back down. She called her bluff immediately. And sitting in the corner watching all of this chaotic web of lies unfold were the true, undisputed MVPs of the dinner table.
We must discuss Charles Oakley.
Yes.
He was acting like a grumpy Muppet in the corner of the room. He and K. Michelle were giving Major Statler and Waldorf from The Muppet Show energy. They were sitting together just observing the chaos of these women, deeply unamused and completely detached from the manufactured drama.
Charles Oakley is my personal hero. He refuses to play Angela's reality TV games. Porsha asks the table who made the first move in their relationship. Angela tries to spin this cute, coy narrative about how she made him wait and chased him. And Charles just publicly contradicts her in front of everyone.
He shut it down.
He says, no, that's not how it went. He embarrassed her so fast, he wants absolutely no part of the fake script.
It is the perfect grounding counterbalance to the hyper-produced drama happening at the rest of the table.
Yeah.
You look around the room, you have Phaedra lying about imaginary security tapes, Drew holding an iPad man hostage, Porsha orchestrating a fake wedding in her ex's house, and Charles is just silently eating his dinner, completely refusing to lie about his actual life.
He just wanted his steak.
It successfully washed away the bad taste of season 16. The premiere did exactly what it needed to do. It reset the board, established clear, multi-layered conflict, and gave us a reason to tune in next week.
It was a chaotic masterpiece, which brings us perfectly into looking at the power dynamics. If we are tracking who is dominating this reset, we have to look at the power rank. Who is coming out of episode 1 looking like a mastermind, and who is fumbling the bag?
Let us start with who is dominating. For me, it is absolutely K. Michelle.
100%.
She provided top-tier, unfiltered commentary. She shattered the fourth wall, and she completely refused to fake her enthusiasm for the sake of the producers. When the screaming started at the table, she literally got up and walked away, saying it was too much for her nervous system. That raw authenticity secures her the top spot right now.
I completely agree with K. Michelle, but I also have to put Drew right up there at the top. Friend, Drew secured her peach for the next 3 seasons in one dinner.
She did the work.
She understands the assignment of modern reality TV. She brought a literal iPad man to a formal dinner to ensure she got guaranteed camera time, and she clocked in to start a fight with Shamea out of absolutely nowhere. She is messy, she is putting in the labor, and she is carrying the narrative drama.
That is a valid assessment. Now, who is struggling? I have to look at Pinky Cole.
Oh, Pinky.
It genuinely pains me because I deeply respect her business acumen and what she has built in the real world. But in the specific distorted context of the show, she came in too loud and uncalibrated. Spilling the drink, giving off massive fish out of water energy, and immediately alienating a core cast member like Kelly. It was a rocky, mismanaged debut.
My ultimate flop of the week is Shamea. I am sorry, I love her energy, but the mullet hair alone is a structural failure.
The hair was a choice.
The weird interpretive miming of the text messages, instead of just pulling out her phone and giving us the concrete receipts, flop behavior. And showing up to the party ostensibly ready to fight Drew, but then immediately panicking and deflecting to Angela because she didn't have a solid comeback prepared, complete flop. She needs to step it up and strategize if she wants to survive this season's pacing.
If we project this forward, say, 5 years into the future, let us look at the long-term trajectory of these women. Where will they be? Let us start with Porsha.
Okay, 5 years from now, will Mike, the friend from the OWN network, still be around? Absolutely not. He will be a distant, blurry memory by episode 4 of this season.
So where is she?
I predict Porsha will either be married to an absolute billionaire that we haven't even met yet, someone incredibly low-key who completely refuses to be on camera, or she will be fully exploring a same-sex relationship, which the online fandom has been hinting at and hoping for heavily. She is going to completely and radically rebrand her romantic life.
I can clearly see that trajectory for her. She is a chameleon. Let us forecast Phaedra. In 5 years, Phaedra will still be sitting on a couch, lying about imaginary tapes from sporting events.
Always.
She will probably be selling a brand new, completely bizarre business venture to the public. We have had funeral homes, we have had cattle ranching, we have had legal consulting. In 5 years, she will probably be selling luxury, diamond-encrusted apocalypse bunkers for the ultra-wealthy, and she will still be a top-tier confessional gangster.
Drew. In 5 years, Drew will still be sitting at a dinner table claiming she is just friends with a man she's clearly, obviously, exclusively dating.
Still on the iPad.
She will be living in a constant, impenetrable state of romantic denial, and she will still be dropping terrible, auto-tuned music that we all secretly listen to on the treadmill at the gym.
At Angela and Charles. 5 years from now, Charles will still be sitting in the dark corner of a room, slowly rolling his eyes at her, while she loudly claims to a group of skeptical women that their marriage is stronger and more passionate than ever. Their dynamic is permanently, immutably locked in stone.
It is set in stone. But we do not even need to wait 5 years, though. The fault lines for this season are already cracking. Let us predict the major showdowns we are going to see this year. Fight number 1. I am predicting an absolute bloodbath between Kelly and Pinky.
Oh, definitely.
The battle of the restaurant owners. Mana's Chicken and Waffles versus Slutty Vegan. That, not a girl's girl comment, is going to fester, it is going to rot, and it is going to explode over a plate of catered food at a daytime event.
Fight number 2, Drew versus Shamea. This is inevitable. The tension over the YouTube apology video was just the light appetizer. The comments about the Zoom date, the quick deflections, the underlying jealousy, this is going to reach a boiling point, highly likely at a cast trip dinner, where they are geographically trapped and cannot escape each other.
Fight number 3, Phaedra versus Angela. The imaginary Hawks game security tapes are going to be demanded at the reunion.
Andy will ask for them.
Angela is not going to let this slide. She's going to sit on that couch, look Andy Cohen in the eye, and ask Phaedra for the USB drive. And Phaedra's going to have to pivot so hard, she might physically break an ankle.
Fight number 4 is going to be meta. K. Michelle versus The Process. We are going to see K. Michelle fighting with the producers, fighting with the boom operators, fighting with the very concept of the show itself.
She's going to snap.
She is going to try to maintain her internal peace while everyone screams around her, and eventually the sheer decibel level of the Atlanta cast is going to break her resolve, and she is going to give us an iconic fourth-wall-shattering meltdown where she exposes how the sausage is made.
Yes, I can see it now. And fight number 5, Porsha versus Kelly. Listen, Kelly is Shamea's brand new best friend. Porsha is not going to like that dynamic shift one bit.
Not at all.
Porsha is going to freeze Kelly at a group events, or she is going to drop a nuclear devastating read on her to assert dominance and remind everyone exactly whose house they are filming in.
The power dynamics are absolutely primed for a territorial war, which really begs the question of who is actually steering the ship right now. Who is carrying the narrative weight of the season?
For me, it is a dead heat between Porsha and Drew. Porsha literally provided the physical set, the island theme, and the fake husband to get the cameras rolling. She gave us the $1 million real estate to film the drama. She set the table.
But Drew understood the assignment of clocking in and starting the fire. Porsha provided the venue, but Drew provided the actual entertainment value. Drew brought the iPad man to act as a catalyst and brought the receipts to confront Shamea. They are co-captaining this season so far, and it is a beautiful symbiotic relationship of chaos.
I am so deeply invested in this journey.
Yeah.
We are at the end of tonight's analysis. We are finishing the last of the peach mimosas. The final verdict on the viral peach ice cream remains that it is an iconic summer staple, despite what the haters say. And the absolute chaos of planning your own dramatic, VIP-only funeral is still my ultimate life goal.
And we must praise the excellence of RHOA finally being back in top form. It washed the bad taste of last season right out of our mouths. The drama is petty. The stakes are delightfully low, the outfits are wild, and the psychological warfare is top tier. It is reality TV perfection.
So we have to ask you, our favorite listener, who stood out to you in this premiere? What are your thoughts on the shifting dynamics of the new season? And be honest, would you plan your own funeral with a bouncer at the door? Let us know in the comments.
Rate, review, subscribe to the show. Keep sending in those shady, snarky, or stupid submissions. My inbox is always ready to analyze your mess. Send this episode to your most Bravo-obsessed bestie so they can spiral with us.
Thank you for drinking with us, for spiraling with us, and for living for the mess every single week. Stay shady, stay peachy.
And we will see you on the Snark side.